Hey YouTubers, it's me 123xmarkboy here again. Haven't made a video on this in, man, I don't know, 3-4 years, something like that. Anyway, last video I made, I swapped the Briggs with the Kawasaki and made a mowing video. Didn't really explain what all I did to it, so this video is going to cover what all's been going on with this mower, what I've fixed, what I've done to it, and what problems I've had. So I guess we'll start up here. I started using this thing commercially. Probably shouldn't have done that. Every weekend I'd go mow about I don't know, 10, 15-ish yards with a buddy of mine, and there was some hills, rough terrain, and the weld, actually the frame, cracked right here and broke away from here. So I had this welded up from my uncle's buddy. I probably could have done it myself, but was still kind of new to welding at the time. Anyway, had that welded up there, added these gussets here, so that way it'd be more reinforced. It wasn't the prettiest weld jobs. I just spray painted it afterwards, and it's getting a little rusty, but whatever. So there's a gusset here, fixed the weld there, reinforced this side as well. Had to cut a hole through here just to get the welding gun, so I think my uncle put a plug through there. So the frame broke, but that's the only problem I've had with the frame. Now, last video I made, I switched the engine out from the Briggs to the V-twin Kawasaki, so I went from 13.5 to 17 V-twin, so I got more torque out of it and more power. I'm happy with it because now I have a commercial grade engine on a not so commercial grade mower, but it was a project. I thought it'd be fun, so I did it. Haven't really had any issues with the engine other than it's a little smoky at startup until it warms up, but that's kind of common with these. I believe the piston rings are kind of shot, but I'm not going to rebuild it until I absolutely have to. Once it warms up, it doesn't really smoke anymore. It's just when it's cold, it'll puff a little bit. It seems like it's this side because this is the lower cylinder, and this is also the cylinder that I did the head gasket replacement on. And I believe when I tested it, the piston had a little bit of slop where you can move it back and forth slightly. So I think the rings are gone on that side, or getting gone. It'll still run on both cylinders perfectly fine other than the smoke. So I also converted the pull start to electric start. What I had to do there was I replaced the flywheel with one that had gear teeth. I think I got that off a FH580V or 530V, something like that. It was a Kai engine, I know that, but the FH Kai and the FH are pretty much the same thing, just different plastic and better air filtration, and that's about it. So put a new flywheel on it. I put all this fan guarding and stuff on it just for fun. I didn't really need to. I could have just left it open, but since I took the pull start off, I figured why not put a grill on it like it's supposed to. Ended up breaking one of these studs off. That was on accident. I think I over torqued it, and then whenever I went to go take it apart again, it broke. Sorry, I kind of got a head cold. So I had to change out the flywheel. Also had to change out the charging stator. That I swapped from one that was just designed to run a PTO to one that's actually able to charge a battery. So that connects to this voltage regulator. Had to buy a voltage regulator too. And then I spliced into the original Briggs charging circuit, which is this pin here, or clip here. And it charges the battery just fine. Haven't had a problem. As for the mower itself, I still have this stupid loose belt issue. So every time you disengage it, it will pop off the pulley like that, and then you have to check it or shut down the engine and put it back on there. That's just some stupid design that Ariens did years ago. They thought it would be better to put whatever they call that soft touch clutch system on it instead of like a Warner PTO clutch like the normal ones, where this one uses a stupid actuator here. It's a vacuum actuator, and there's a little vacuum pump built into the back of here, and it'll suck the air out and pull this cylinder in, tighten up a cable which moves a pulley over, and that tightens up the belt.
Well, if your belt gets old and worn out, it always flies off the back. Now, there's supposed to be these two little, not really sure, there's one. So that right there, there'd be a little brass bushing that would spin on there. Those clips broke off and they probably went flying in the yard somewhere a long time ago. So practically 2 years after I bought this thing back in 2010, it started throwing belts. But I've just been dealing with that over the years. Not really too big of a problem, it's just a little annoying. And Ariens, of course, has, I guess, listened to me and some other people, and they changed it from a single cylinder Briggs to a V-twin Kohler, I think it is now. I think they tried Kawasaki's for a little bit, and I don't know what happened there, but now they got V-twin Kohler 7000 series, and they also have the electromagnetic clutch on them, like they were supposed to have, and should have had. But, yeah, this thing still runs strong. Haven't had any problems. Definitely got the power that I wanted out of that engine. And, that's about it. So I've had this thing since 2010. It's now almost 2020, so I guess I could say 10-year review of the Ariens Zoom 34 and what all I've done to it, what problems I've had. So thanks for watching. I know most of you guys aren't really into this other than to be like, hey, I have that mower. So anyway, that's all for this video. See you in whatever next one I decide to make. Later.